sweetest learners. How are you? I'm sure you've been good. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Storytime with Auntie Shine Shine. I trust you've been great. So, you know how we do this. I say shine, shine, and you say shine like a star. Yes, because every single one of you is a star. You're right here in our world to make our world just that much brighter. As usual, Auntie Shine Shine has an interesting, exciting story for you. Today's story is from Yoruba land, all the way in southwestern Nigeria. And it features a prominent animal friend. You guessed it. I'm sure you can guess it. The tortoise. Yes, the tortoise features in today's story. The title of today's story is Tortoise and the Magic Igbako. Igbako. So in English, you would spell that Igbako. Let me spell it in Yoruba. Using the Yoruba alphabet. To spell Igbako using the Yoruba alphabet would be Igbi, A, Ki, O. G and B make one alphabet in they're one alphabet in the Yoruba language. So I, B, A, Ki, O. Put your hands together for Auntie Shine Shine. That's Igbako. And what exactly is an Igbako? I have to explain this to you. So this is an Igbako. This is an example of an Igbako. It's a scoop that is used to fetch food. Now we have particular food items, meals, yes, in Yoruba land, in Nigeria generally, and in some other parts of Africa that are usually made of flour, say yam flour or cassava flour or millet flour or maize flour. So usually we call them swallow because we eat them in mussels and swallow them along with delicious soups. So usually those flours, some of those flours that I mentioned and some other ones are usually mixed with hot boiling water. So by the time you mix them in boiling water, it becomes a paste, a really thick paste, and then mommy or whoever is cooking in the kitchen scoops them, scoops the meal into everybody's plates with the Igbako, and then it is served with delicious, delicious soup. Yummy, delicious soup. Some examples of the soup that we have are egusi soup, ogbono soup. We have ila. Ila is okra. We have efo riro. We have, okay, I've talked about egusi. And in some other parts of Nigeria, we have edikaikong, a kind of vegetable soup. We have many different other soups. But one thing I can assure you of is that all of these soups are delicious. It just depends on your preference. They're usually filled with protein like beef, fish, and then a lot of dry fish and all kinds of condiments and spices just to spice up the soup and make it really, really, really delicious. If any of the soups are being cooked close to where you are, you can already perceive its deliciousness from its aroma. So anyway, the Igbako is what is usually used to scoop our swallow, meals that we call swallow, and eat in mussels along with delicious soups. Now, straight on into today's story, Tortoise and the Magic Igbako. Now, you remember the story called in Yoruba language, do you? Well, I'll remind you once again. Hello. That's what the storyteller says. And you, the listener, will say, hello. Shall we try that again? Hello, 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 hello. Great. Now, once upon a time, a very, 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 very long time ago, as most of our stories have it, in those days, animals behaved just like humans. And in those days in Yoruba land, most of the animals were farmers, maybe a few fishermen, some traders, practically everybody traded because whatever you got from your farm, you would trade to get something else that you did not have to eat and to feed your family with. So it is recorded that in those days there was some challenge with the rain and there was famine. So famine happens when um, the land does not get enough rain, so the crops do not do well, and it results in not enough food for everyone to eat. So this was the situation. The the crops did not do well because the rainfall was very, very scarce in that year, and so the harvest was poor, and before long the animals had finished eating all their harvest and everybody was going hungry. They were growing thin. It wasn't a beautiful thing to experience at all. Now, Tortoise noticed that everyone was growing lean. They were tired and hungry except one animal, the bird. The bird was looking fresh and plump and just beautiful. So Tortoise decided to observe the bird, and he observed that at particular times the bird flew in a particular direction. Unfortunately, Tortoise could not fly, so Tortoise could not follow the bird to wherever the bird traveled to. But one day, Tortoise approached the bird and said, Mr. Bird, I see you. I see where you go every time. Where do you go? Because I notice that whenever you return, you always look refreshed. And Bird says, me? I don't go anywhere. Tortoise said, ha, 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 ha. If you don't tell me, I will call all the animals and you know they will prevail on you until you have to take every one of us to wherever it is that you go. The bird said, okay, okay, okay. You don't have to do that. Okay, I'll tell you. So, or I'll show you. I'll take you with me. Tortoise said, good, now you're talking. So the next day when the bird was going on his journey, the bird lent the tortoise some feathers and they traveled for the journey together. They flew and flew and flew and flew across land, across valleys, over mountains, then over the sea, and they went over the ocean right to the middle of the ocean. And guess who they saw? The queen of the ocean with her long hair, very beautiful. And the queen had this shiny golden crown set right on her head. But she wasn't looking happy at all when she saw the bird had come with an unexpected visitor. And the bird apologized, saying that the tortoise had prevailed on him and he had no choice. So the queen said, anyway, she will still attend to the tortoise. And then she gave the tortoise a big Igbako, a very, very big Igbako. And she said, once I go back into my kingdom, ask the Igbako what its work is. And how to say that in Yoruba is to say, Kini shere. What is your work? What do you do? And Tortoise said, thank you, Your Majesty. Thank you, Your Majesty. And swoosh, the queen went back to her kingdom. And so Tortoise spoke to the Igbako. Igbako, kini shere. And Igbako started singing. Okele bamba iyan. Okele bamba eba. Kaje kayo iyan. Aje sheku iyan. Okele bamba iyan. Okele bamba eba. Ajekayo iyan, ajesheku eba. Which is to say, I told you those meals that we call swallow, we eat them in mussels. So the Igbako started singing, big mussels, big mussels of iyan. Iyan is pounded yam. Big mussels, big mussels of eba. Eba is made from cassava flakes. And the Igbako continued by saying, we eat to our satisfaction, we eat and we have leftovers. Tortoise was very happy. So they went back home along with the bird. When Tortoise got home, and before the queen, one more thing, before the queen left, she warned the tortoise, this must be used by you and you alone, at most with your family. Do not expose this secret to anyone outside your family. So I said, okay, Your Majesty. So they went home and Tortoise called all the members of his family. He gathered them and he said, Igbako kini shere, and Igbako started singing, Okele bamba iyan, okele bamba eba. Aje kayo iyan, aje sheku eba. Okele bamba iyan, okele bamba eba. And as he was singing, big pots of all of these dishes started appearing. Big bowl of iyan, big bowl of eba, amala, egusi soup, ogbono soup, all these delicious soups, vegetables, meats, fish. Oh my gosh. They appeared and everybody had been hungry from the famine. They descended on this meals. They ate and ate and ate. But guess what? No matter how much they ate, they could not finish the meals. Everybody was elated. They were satisfied. This went on for a few days. And then Tortoise thought, no, now, this is my opportunity to get famous and popular. If I go to the king's palace and I tell the king what I can do and I feed all the animals, then everybody will be saying, Tortoise, Tortoise, Tortoise. Everybody will be calling my name and I'll be big and famous. That's what I'll do. So Tortoise went to the king's palace and told the king I can feed everybody, and asked the king to summon all the animals. The king did that, and then he brought his big Igbako, and then he said, Igbako kini shere. Can you sing with me now? And Igbako said, Okele bamba iyan, okele bamba eba. Kaje kayo iyan, aje sheku eba. Okele bamba iyan, okele bamba eba. And as the Igbako was singing, all these meals appeared. Big mighty pots. Hungry animals. Everybody descended on the ogbono soup, egusi soup, okra soup, all the soups. Edikaikong, all they ate and ate and ate. Meat, fish. They ate and ate and ate to their fill. But guess what? No matter how much they ate, they could not finish the meals. Everybody was happy. Every day they would gather in the king's palace. They would sing, ask the Igbako kini shere. Igbako was sing, Okele bamba iyan, okele bamba eba. Food will appear. They would eat and eat to their fill, and they would never finish. And everybody was saying, all hail the tortoise, all hail the tortoise. Until one day, Igbako kini shere. Igbako was just looking at them. Igbako kini shere. Igbako did not sing. Igbako did not bring out any food. Igbako was broken. Igbako had been overused and it was broken. So the animals started grumbling, and the tortoise said, wait, don't worry. Give me a short while. I'll go and I'll be back. So tortoise went, borrowed feathers, and flew straight over the ocean, over mountains, across valleys, all above trees, all the way to the ocean. And then the queen of the river saw him and said, how may I help you? And Tortoise said, they asked the Igbako, and the Igbako refused to bring out any food. And the queen asked, are you sure you did not overuse this Igbako? Are you sure it was only you and your family? Are you sure you did not expose it to the whole kingdom? No, I did not expose it to the whole kingdom. It's just myself and my family. The queen said, okay, I will attend to you. This time, she gave him another Igbako. This time, very small Igbako. Very, very small Igbako. Just as before. When I go back into my kingdom, ask the Igbako, Kinishere. Shh. She dived, went right back to her kingdom. Igbako Kinishere, Tortoise asked. And Igbako said, Okele, ke, okele, ke. Ke, okele, ke. Okele, ke means little muscles, little muscles. Little muscles, little muscles. Okele, ke, okele, ke, okele. Tortoise flew back home, called members of his family. Igbako Kinishere, okele, ke, okele, ke, okele, ke. This time, as Igbako was singing, tiny muscles. I mean, tiny muscles. As little as you could feed an ant started appearing. Tiny muscles. And everybody started eating. They ate and ate and ate, but no matter how much they ate, they could not be satisfied. So Tortoise said, when I had plenty, I shared with the whole kingdom. So now that I don't have plenty, I'm going to share this one together. Went to the palace. They summoned all the animals. Igbako Kinishere. Igbako said, okele, ke, okele, ke, okele, ke. They started eating. They descended on the food. They ate and ate and ate. The muscles were too tiny. Nobody was satisfied. They were angry with the tortoise. There was nothing they could do. They ate and ate and ate and ate and ate until Igbako Kekere, which is little Igbako, also broke and could not even provide any food for them anymore. Again, Tortoise borrowed feathers, went back to the queen of the river, queen of the ocean, and the queen of the ocean said, Tortoise said, the Igbako that you gave me, it has broken again. Ijapa, Tortoise, are you sure you used it alone? Yes, I'm sure. I'm very, very sure. I did not give anybody. I did not show anybody. I'm sure. Queen of the ocean said, no problems. I will attend to you again. This time, she brought a stick. She gave Tortoise, this is the stick for my talking drum. But let's just imagine this curve. It's not there. So, she gave Tortoise a stick. Yeah, very thick one like this, long. And she said, once I go back into my kingdom, ask the stick, Igi Kinishere. And back to her kingdom she went. Igi Kinishere. This time, Tortoise did not even wait to ask at the river. He went straight home, called members of his family, and so they asked, Igi Kinishere. Iggy did not sing. You know what Iggy started doing? Iggy means stick in Yoruba language. You know what Iggy started doing? Whooped and whooped and whooped every single one of them until they were tired. Notice. He said, oh, I have suffered today. And I was enjoying. I was sharing with everybody. Everybody was sharing this too. Off to the palace he went and said, I have something new. Expectant. The animals were expectant now. So they all gathered. And Tortoise brought out his Iggy. Hey. And he said, okay, I have eaten with my family and we're satisfied. All you have to do, you know, as we used to do it in times past, you just say Igi Kinishere. The animal said, oh yeah, we know. So Tortoise left them and left only the animals at the palace. They were hungry, so quickly they asked, Igi Kinishere. Igi stood. Igi Kinishere. Igi did not answer them. Iggy Guinea share the third time. Whoop, 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 whoop. Iggy started flogging. Iggy started whooping, 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 whooping. This was how Iggy whooped and whipped and flogged everybody. And of course, everybody blamed the tortoise for bringing them a cane rather than food. And this was how tortoise learned his lesson. I hope you have enjoyed today's story. Thank you for listening. Did you enjoy the story? Did you learn any lessons? Do you have any questions for me? I would love, love, love to hear from you. So why don't you put your impressions, your questions, the lessons you learned, put them together, hand them over to your teacher, and have her send them to me at auntieshineshine the storyteller@gmail.com. Just 1, 2 sentences, what you learned, impressions about the story, and any questions you have for me. And I will send you your answers and respond to your questions. Thank you very much for listening. Till I come your way again on Storytime with Auntie Shine Shine. Keep shining. Bye for now.